Hello, my name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Center for Computer and Information Technology at Murray State University, and welcome to 10 at 10. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Grow West, the Technology Council of West Kentucky, KY Innovation, and our local partner, Sprocket Innovation in Paducah and the Kentucky Innovation Station in Madisonville. This continues to be October, and this continues to be Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Cybersecurity Awareness Month, we talked in more detail about last week. So we won't necessarily go into a lot of detail about what Cybersecurity Awareness Month is this week. But I do want to continue the theme of raising some awareness about some resources that are out there. Recently, I was asked a question about if I'm a small business and I need help, where do I go? Well, first of all, let me just say that if I can help you, I am happy to do so. If I can guide you to the resources in our region that can help you to accomplish whatever it is that you have, I'm going to do that. That's something that is my that I feel like is my role, is my job, is that I can help connect individuals and organizations with those resources that we have at our disposal within our region. And as you've probably heard me say on here before, our region is blessed to have some really good technology and cybersecurity companies and professionals that can help you with some of these things. But on a larger scale, on a more national scale, if you need some access to resources, where should you go? What should you do? And I thought I would spend a little bit of time today answering that question. And that question, that's been a problem for 20 years, is how do we bring all of this together and have a clearinghouse of sorts for cybersecurity? Now, is it perfect today? No, it's not. It is way better than it has ever been. We are coordinating across all of our nation and across sectors better now than frankly we ever have. And I think that's something that's really good. And frankly, it is really important in the cybersecurity war that's going on right now. So there is an organization. It's called the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. It's part of Homeland Security. It really is the coordinator and the clearinghouse of sorts for government. Now, most government agencies have their own entity within their department that are dealing with cybersecurity. Military has their own. There's a lot of groups that are doing this outside of government, but I'll tell you, most organizations are coordinating with CISA. CISA is the acronym CISA. And I think that it's a very good place for you if you have or if you have questions, if you need some resources. It is a very good place for you to start. So first of all, if you go to their website, which is CISA.gov, I'm gonna make sure I tell you that right, is CISA.gov. They have a number of resources that are available. If you want to do a cybersecurity training or if you want to do cybersecurity exercises, they have templates that you can use. They are ready made for you to use templates. Best practice guidance, education and training, cybersecurity services. They'll even do some consulting services to assist you with what's going on. They have information sharing. There are a number of resources that they have right now that can really help you in your small business. If you're unsure, you're afraid to engage with a consultant because you don't want to pay them, you don't really know what to do, you're trying to figure out, do I need to do this or do I need to do that? Do I need a training program? Do I need to install firewalls? Do I need security awareness piece? What is it that I need to do for my company and for my users? Well, CISA is going to be a place for you to start. It has resources for small businesses. It has resources for a number of different areas, but it specifically has things for small business. I was on a conference, a webinar not too long ago with someone from CISA talking about some of their resources, and two things that they talked about. One is stop, think, connect, and what that program has done for the last, I think, 4 or 5 years. Actually, it may say fifth anniversary on that logo at the bottom of the screen. What they've done for the last handful of years is to help you think about what you're doing before you click on a link. Stop, think. Does this look like it could be malicious? Does this look fishy? Is there something that might be wrong with this? And let's consider that before we connect, before we click, before we do something. So that's something that they've been doing for quite some time. But here recently, they have added some components about ransomware. So CISA is trying to organize a clearinghouse of sorts for ransomware. Ransomware is our biggest threat right now in cyberspace. Are there other threats? Absolutely. Are there other things that we need to consider? Absolutely. But for most small businesses, that's the challenge. Actually, I heard on that same webinar that I was referencing that the average price of a ransom paid is now in the millions of dollars. That's significant. And we need insurance, and we need to do some of these, take some of these steps to make sure that we're not going to be one of those victims. So anyway, so CISA has started a ransomware awareness campaign to help you make sure that you're ready in case you have been you get hit, and also how to avoid being that victim. So it's a really good program. Something else that they have, I think this is a fantastic thing. If you're a small business and you don't know where to go, they have what they call Cyber Essentials, and I posted a screenshot of it. Obviously, you can't see it very well, but if you go to the CISA.gov website, which is CISA.gov, you can find the Cyber Essentials. But it is a guide for leaders of small businesses, as well as leaders of small and local government agencies, to develop an actionable understanding of where to start implementing organizational cybersecurity practices. Now, I read that what's on the screen because that is taken directly from their website. But what this is if you don't know where to start on your business, on your organization, on how to secure your organization, the Cyber Essentials will help you get started. I strongly encourage you to take a look at it. It will provide some good insight and really help you out on securing your organization. Because if you have not started, you need to do so immediately. It is something that is vital because you're going to get hit at some point, especially if you're not already protecting yourself. You may get hit anyway, but if you're not already trying to protect yourself, and if you're not already implementing some of these controls, then when you get hit, there's a good chance that you'll go out of business. It's that simple. And yes, that's scary, but that's the reality of the world that we're in today. And then one other thing that they did, which I read this a couple days ago, which I think is really interesting, is CISA puts out information. They put out reports. They put out articles all the time that have some good information in it. And one of the recent ones is this. It is an article, and there's a much longer article on this, but it is they named 3 exceptionally dangerous behaviors to avoid. Here's 3 things that you should not ever do because you're putting yourself at risk. Number 1 is using single factor authentication. You have heard me preach on that quite a bit. Number 2 is using default passwords and credentials. If you've listened to 10 at 10, if you've watched Security Matters, if you've attended any of the conferences that we've hosted, you've probably heard us talk about that one as well. Do not use default passwords. The bad guy, the adversary, always knows that's the default for many organizations, is to just use the default password. If you're using the default credentials, then they're probably able to get into your organization. They're able to use that password because that's the first thing they're trying, because they know how lazy people are. And if you're one of those that I'm describing that's using a default password, stop what you're doing and go change that right now immediately. And then number three is using unsupported or end of life software. Now, we've talked about that, but I've not talked about that in detail. Perhaps I will next week or coming up soon. But if your software is no longer supported, then you should stop using it. I'll make a point of sharing more on that next week. But what that means is essentially if your software's so old that it can't be used anymore, then if there's a vulnerability that comes out, then you're not going to be able to stop it and you're not going to be able to support it. That's something that does happen quite a bit, and that's a very bad position to be in. But I'll talk more about that next week. I am out of time. We've gone over maybe a little bit as well. We tend to do that quite a bit. But I appreciate you joining today. I hope this is helpful. If there's a question that you'd like to answer, please share that with me. This was a question that was asked by a viewer, and please, if there's something I can do, something I can answer for you, let me know, and I'll try to answer that on next week's 10 at 10. Thank you for joining us, and have a good day. Bye.